Hey guys, a little bit of an issue popping up from time to time on maybe some misinformation or maybe some not understanding on the coolant intrusion issues that were happening with the 1.5 liter EcoBoost, 1.5 liter EcoBoost, the 1.6 liter and the 2.0 liter. I'd like to get into some common misconceptions. One of the things that people repeat often is, well, I don't see a crack in my cylinder wall when I stick a bore scope down in there. How come there's no coolant coming out of that? So how come you say that I might still have coolant intrusion? That's not where it comes from. It's not a crack that develops inside the engine. I don't know why people keep saying that. Maybe there's a post on the internet that's guiding people that way, but it's not a crack in the cylinder wall. It's a defective block design. So in the 1.5 liter EcoBoost, when that starts happening, the short block has to be replaced. What is a short block? A short block is just the engine assembly, like the lower engine assembly. The block, the pistons, the crank, and that's it. Nothing else. You take the old engine out, strip it all down, you transfer over any parts that can be transferred over, and then you build the engine back up. The cylinder head, everything. Now, the cylinder head could be defective as well because the spark plugs like to lock up in the cylinder head whenever it starts experiencing intrusion, and then the cylinder head has to be replaced. So you were better off just putting a long block in it to begin with. So before you even start a 1.5 liter EcoBoost coolant intrusion job where you're replacing the short block, try to take the spark plugs out first. If you can't get the spark plugs out, let the customer know, I need an extra week, maybe 2 weeks with this car. I'm going to have to pull the cylinder head off. It's going to have to go to a machine shop. The machine shop is going to have to get those spark plugs out for me because they typically deal with stuff like this. Or we can just go ahead and charge out a new cylinder head now and just get it done. But then when you charge out a new cylinder head, you got to go back and you got to redo the clearances for the valves because the tappets have all kind of different sizes. You need like 7 or 8 different tappets, and then you got to put the camshaft on, take it off, on, off, on, off, on, off, over and over and over again until you get the right clearances. It's a pain in the butt. At that point, with the amount of labor that you'd have into it and the price of the parts and stuff, you should have just got a long block to begin with, and it would have already been set for you. You wouldn't have had to done any of that, and you would have just built the outside of the engine up and then installed it. Now, what years did that affect? I'll show you. 2014 to 19 Fusion, 2017 to 19 Escapes. You could have a P0300, P0301, 302, 303, 304, 316, 217, 1285, 1299 stored in the powertrain control module, and this may be due to a coolant intrusion into the cylinder. To correct the condition, follow the service procedure to replace the short block and the head gasket. It started 21 February of 2009, or no, some 2014 to 2019 Fusions built on or before 21 February 19, and 2017 to 19 Escape vehicles built on or before 6 April 2019, equipped with a 1.5 liter EcoBoost. Now there was the Edge, the Escape, the Fusion, the MKC, and the MKZ that all got the 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine. The 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine also had coolant intrusion issues. Let's look at the technical service bulletin. 19-2346, 15 to 18 Edge, 17 to 19 Escape, 17 to 19 Fusion, 17 to 19 MKC, 17 to 19 MKZ. This article supersedes TSB 29 or 19-2208. Update for the parts list. Some 15 to 18 and 17 to 19 Fusion, MKZ. Fusion, MKZ, Escape, and MKC vehicles built with a 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine may exhibit low coolant level, white exhaust smoke, and or runs rough condition with or without a malfunction light on. Diagnostic trouble codes may include P0300, 301, 302, 303, 304, 316, 217, 1285, and 1299. To correct the condition, follow the service procedure steps to replace the long block assembly. The entire engine gets replaced under this technical service bulletin for this condition. The new design, see how open it is all the way around? It only has a pinhole. The center is beefier without all that cut out of it, so it doesn't spill over into the cylinders anymore. It's a much better designed block. Now, don't get it twisted. There was an issue in the 19 and the 20 Ford Edge and the Nautilus as well. The Ford Edge and the Nautilus had an issue with losing coolant and white smoking on startup, but it wasn't because of the engine design, because in 2019 that engine design had changed. It had been updated. In 2019 and 2020, what ended up happening in the Ford Edge and the Nautilus is the EGR cooler internally cracked, and it would allow coolant to get into the port that's connected to the cylinder head, and then it would get pushed with the exhaust into the exhaust system, and it would smoke on startup. And then people would be like, oh, I'm losing coolant, this thing, it's gonna be an engine. No, it's not. I've seen techs replace those engines without even looking at technical service bulletins, and then still the same thing happened after they put the engine together. It's smoking all over again, when all it was an EGR cooler to begin with. The EGR cooler assembly is defective on the 19 and 2020 model, and they crack internally, causing coolant to leak into the exhaust and smoke on startup. So be very careful with that. This is the entire history of the 2015. This is the entire history on the 1.5 liter EcoBoost, the 1.6 liter EcoBoost, and the 2.0 liter EcoBoost. Now, in 2020 and above, the 1.5 liter EcoBoost is not the same engine. It's called the Dragon engine. It is not a 4-cylinder anymore. It is a 3-cylinder. So do not get those confused. I had a lot of people telling me, oh, will this happen in my 2020 Escape? It's not the same engine. The 1.5 liter EcoBoost in the 2020 model and up changed to a 3-cylinder Dragon design. It's not the same as the previous model, so don't get those confused. From 2019 and prior, it was a 4-cylinder 1.5 liter. That's it. That's all I got. I hope this helps. I wanted to break it down just a little bit differently. Take care. Be blessed.